Hi everyone, Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone is staying warm this Wednesday morning. Again, brutally cold out there. Again today, we're in the middle of our really brutally cold stretch. But there is some light at the end of the tunnel, and that is we are going to see some above-average temperatures finally return to the area, but not until the weekend and into the week next week, as we still have a few more days of some really oppressively cold conditions that we have to get through first. So we're going to take a look at, again, the forecast as we head through the day today, again, really through the rest of the week, looking at those, again, very dangerously cold conditions. And then we'll take a look at when we're going to finally see those warmer temperatures finally return to the forecast. But want to start off with, again, as always, look at your Lincoln Weather Almanac. Again, the high and low from yesterday didn't move a whole lot. 1 and -7 were your high and low temperature yesterday. Again, you can see that is 41 degrees below normal in terms of where our average high is at, which is now 42 degrees. Officially, we technically saw 207 inch of liquid precipitation yesterday, but it was just officially a trace of snowfall. Again, the snowfall numbers, I'm not exactly sure what's been going on, but the snowfall numbers have kind of been all over the place, at least the official Lincoln Airport numbers, that are going in the almanac. Again, they have changed some of these numbers, so now it's actually lowered our snowfall totals so far for the month. Again, you'll remember this last Saturday, officially at the Lincoln Airport, they reported 3 inches of snow, with just a trace of precipitation, which, again, really doesn't add up, but that has been changed from 3 inches of snow to 3/10 of an inch of snow, which again is a little bit closer to, I think, what actually fell. Again, I know at my house this weekend there really wasn't much. It was enough to cover the driveway, but it certainly wasn't 3 inches. I know it can be quite a difference across town, but again, it seemed like a pretty out there number. So the number has been adjusted a little bit. So officially now, 5.2 inches of snow so far this month of February. Really, that's all come in basically the last week. And just only 6.2 inches of snow so far for the year. So for as much snow and for as much cold as it seems we've really packed into the last week, we're still more than a foot below normal for our snowfall so far this year. And again, while we're no longer, tops on the list of the least snowiest starts to winter, we're still on the list. Again, if you take a look at the updated numbers, again, that was 6.2 inches of snow. We're officially no longer going to have the least snowiest winter on record. That's out of the books, but we're still in running for at least the second least snowiest winter on record. Again, you go back to 21-22 season. That's the season we only had 5.1 inches of snow. Again, number one right now on the list through February 19th is still the 1922-1923 season. They only had 2.1 inches of snow through today's date. They finished that season, though, with 18.5 inches. So, again, no snow, though, in the forecast. Again, over the course of the next week, we will be dealing with some brutally cold conditions, but no additional snow in the forecast for us, at least over the course of the next week, which, again, is going to take us almost to the end of February, and then you hit March 1st, and that's the beginning of meteorological spring, and before then, we're jumping forward, daylight saving time beginning, and then astronomical spring is beginning, and we can still get plenty of snow in March and April, but it's certainly a lot less common. So, if you look at the cold weather alerts, again, these have kind of been hard to keep straight because the weather office in Omaha has been going with cold weather advisories basically for the daytime hours for Lincoln and eastern sections of the state, while the Hastings and North Platte office have been sticking with extreme cold warnings. There we go. Extreme cold warnings for central and western sections of the state. So for Lincoln and eastern sections of the state, that cold weather advisory is in place through noon today. The extreme cold warning then in place through noon today also for central and western sections of the state. I believe, again, it's kind of hard to keep it all straight. We will go a few hours this afternoon with no advisories and no warnings, but then another round of advisories and warnings kick in as we head tonight and then into the day tomorrow. Let's see if I can get this right here. So those for central and western Nebraska will go through noon Thursday, and then extreme cold warnings for Lincoln and eastern Nebraska go from 9 p.m. tonight to 9 a.m. Thursday. Again, tonight into tomorrow morning will be our coldest stretch of this very cold stretch that we've had. Actual air temperatures tonight are going to be obscenely cold. We're going to be breaking records across the state and by a pretty wide margin for record low temperatures tonight and into Thursday morning. So if you look at the wind chills, again, wind chills as of this morning, again, as we start our day, this is why kids don't have school today, wind chills between about 15 and 30 degrees below zero this morning. And it's not really going to improve a whole lot as we head into the afternoon. By the noon hour, we're looking at wind chills between about 10 to 20 degrees below zero across the state. By the afternoon, again, it doesn't really get a whole lot better, and then things start to go back downhill again by tonight, about 15 to 25 degrees below zero. By early tomorrow morning, I think, again, 20 to 30 to maybe even 35 degrees below zero possible for wind chills. This morning, Chadron was reporting a wind chill of 47 degrees below zero, which is one of the coldest numbers that I've ever seen on a map here in Nebraska when it comes to wind chills. So again, some brutally cold conditions will continue all the way into tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, again, things improve a little bit, but it's still awfully cold out there. And then as we head towards Thursday night and then again into Friday morning, we're still going to be looking at those wind chills between about 15 and 20 degrees below zero to start Friday. Things do start improving as we head into Friday afternoon as actual air temperatures finally begin to climb back up. But your weather headlines, again, going to be continue to be headlined by the brutally cold conditions today, Thursday, into Friday morning. Again, things get a little better Friday afternoon, but really it's the weekend when we finally see things take a giant step forward, and then we take another giant step forward as we head into the week next week. We're going to melt a lot of snow as we're going to see some extremely warm weather head our way, kind of the other side of the pendulum of this cold period we've had over the past week. We're going to see well above average temperatures as we head at least through the first half of the week next week. It doesn't look bad when you look at Skyview cameras this morning across the state. A lot of sunshine out there. Again, fresh snow on the ground for many locations. Here in the capital city, though, it is 0 at the airport and here at the 1011 studios at 40th and Vine. Northwest wind at 10 miles an hour makes it feel like 16 degrees below zero out there. Temperatures across the Lincoln Metro, again, right around 0, give or take a degree. A lot of them is taking a degree, around -1, -2 degrees. Again, so very cold to start our Wednesday across the state. Coldest readings are in the northwestern corner of the state. Currently, actual air temperature of -25 in Chadron, -23 in Alliance, as well as Valentine, -17 in Ainsworth, -15 in Thedford. It's 10 below in North Platte. It's 6 below in Grand Island and York. Again, the only temperatures above 0 right now are in the far southeastern part of the state, and they are just a degree above 0 at this time. You look at the wind, it's out of the north for a lot of us, around 8 to 18 miles an hour, especially for the eastern half of the state. Not quite as strong in the west, but enough that you factor in that wind. Again, wind chills. 41 degrees below 0 right now in Valentine, 39 below in Chadron. It's 30 below in Ainsworth, 28 below in Albion and Norfolk. Again, 25 below in Grand Island, 22 below in Hastings, 16 below here in Lincoln. Again, with temperatures and feels like temperatures as cold as this, it really just takes a few minutes for frostbite, hypothermia, and life-threatening conditions to set in. So again, much like you probably heard the last several days, try and limit your time outside today. If you do have to spend any time outside, make sure you're dressing appropriately, layering up and covering as much skin as you can. Satellite radar picture is pretty quiet. Again, there's a few clouds here and there, but otherwise not a whole lot going on. If we look at the visible satellite imagery, again, you can see a lot of snow, fresh snow on the ground. Just a little bit of cloud cover across the southern sections of the state, but again, it's been a while since it's kind of looked like this with a lot of snow on the ground. If you zoom out and look at a more regional view, again, it's not just here, but again, across much of the central and northern plains, a lot of fresh snow currently on the ground, which is something we haven't seen a whole lot of so far this winter. If we zoom out and look at a regional view, overall, again, things right now across the middle parts of the country, fairly quiet. Nationally, again, there is a system that's pushing across the southeast, bringing some wintry weather to the Carolinas, rain down across parts of Georgia into the Florida Panhandle. Also on the other side of the country, across the Pacific Northwest, rain and snow showers ongoing. You look at the weather alerts, though. Again, easy to spot where the cold is right now. Excuse me. We have cold weather advisories and extreme cold warnings stretching from Montana and the Dakotas all the way down to the Gulf of America right now. Extreme cold warnings in place for Houston, for Dallas, for almost the entire state of Oklahoma, almost the entire state of Kansas. Again, those cold weather advisories stretching eastward into parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, the Florida Panhandle. Again, parts of Kentucky right now have winter storm warnings in areas that have flood warnings from the heavy rains they saw over this past weekend. So again, the cold really has a grip on the middle parts of the country last several days, and will continue to for the next several days. So if we zoom back in, regional view, and check out Skycast as we head through the day today, we're going to keep a small chance in the forecast for maybe an isolated flurry this morning. We did have some flurries this morning on my way into work, but again, it's not going to amount to much. But again, I think that chance is out there for at least maybe a few flurries through the morning. But as we head through the day today, I think it's generally dry, and I think we're going to see mostly sunny skies for most of the day today. Again, pretty quiet conditions for us. And then as we head tonight and into the day on your Thursday, I think, again, mostly sunny skies, quiet conditions out there, a few passing clouds, some high-level cloud cover, but really no moisture to speak of. And then as we head Thursday into the day on Friday, again, looking at mostly sunny skies across much of the state, dry conditions. As winds swing around to the south, finally by Friday afternoon, that's going to help temperatures finally climb at least a little bit. Won't be as brutally cold, I think, by Friday afternoon. Then certainly things warm up quite a bit as we head into the weekend, into early next week. So if we zoom in, take a closer look at Skycast through the day today, we'll see a few clouds out there, but I think mostly to partly sunny skies through the day today. Quiet conditions, mainly clear as we head towards tonight. Through the overnight hours tonight, mostly clear, quiet, and then again plenty of sunshine into the day on Thursday. A few passing clouds here and there, and then again same story as we head Thursday and into the day on Friday. Again, a few clouds, but generally sunny skies. A little bit of a southerly breeze on Friday. Again, it's going to allow temperatures to finally begin to warm back up. So again, we'll thank our lucky stars. We'll see that southerly wind as opposed to a northerly wind finally as we head into the day on your Friday into Friday evening. Again, the weather remains quiet with mainly clear skies. 7-day precipitation potential. Again, not a whole lot to see here. Again, we should be pretty dry as we head over the course of the next week in terms of any liquid precipitation. And that means when we look at the snowfall forecast, this is through next Wednesday at 10 o'clock. No big snows expected across the area as we head over the course of the next week. Again, so we packed a lot into this last week, and so we'll see a little bit of a break as we head over the course of the next week and see if we can see any more wintry weather as we head into the month of March. In terms of high temperatures or actual air temperatures, again, and keep in mind it's going to be feeling a whole heck of a lot colder than this, but high temperatures today, at least maybe a little bit warmer, but between about 0 and 5 degrees across the state. So again, still brutally cold out there. Low temperatures tonight, this is the concern. Again, I know the kids didn't have school today. I would think they're definitely not going to have school tomorrow with air temperatures that look like this. Actual air temperatures between about 15 and 25 degrees below zero by early tomorrow morning. The forecast for Lincoln is 18 degrees below zero. The record, I believe, for tomorrow is 10 below. So we'll smash that by a pretty wide margin as we head into Thursday morning. Again, this is going to be because we have clear skies, much lighter winds. Again, the snowpack on the ground, and that's going to allow temperatures to really just fall off a cliff, even more so than they've been over the past couple days. But actual air temperatures about 15 to 25 degrees below zero into Thursday morning. And again, those wind chills even colder, 25 to 35, and maybe even close to 40 degrees below zero at times. Again, I mentioned it, but Chadron this morning, I believe during the 7 o'clock hour, they had a wind chill of 47 degrees below zero. So brutally, brutally cold. Into Thursday afternoon, again, we're back above zero, which again is a big win for us this time of year, at least over the course of the last week. And again, we're a few degrees warmer. It's still very cold, single digits to low teens across most of the coverage area. Friday morning, again, it's It's not as cold, but it's still brutally cold. We're looking at lows between 5 and 15 degrees below zero, even colder wind chills into Friday morning. Friday afternoon is when we finally start to see at least more reasonable temperatures return to the area. Upper teens to upper 20s across the state for Friday afternoon. High temperatures will go around 20 in Lincoln. That's still over 20 degrees below average for this time of year, but again, we'll take it in a New York minute. Low temperatures into Saturday morning, single digits and teens. So again, cold, but not nearly as cold. Saturday, look at that. Back into the upper 20s to upper 30s, even 40s on the board across the western third of the state for Saturday afternoon. Sunday morning, upper teens, low to mid 20s for low temperatures, much more seasonal. And then Sunday afternoon, look at this, 40s in the east, 50s in the west, and then we'll continue to see the temperatures climb from there. Low 50s on Monday of next week, mid 50s by next Tuesday of next week. So again, so you have quite the dichotomy of temperatures on this 7-day forecast. As cold as about 20 below to about almost 60 degrees, so about an 80-degree temperature swing there between the low tomorrow morning to the high early next week. And you'll also notice really no chances for moisture on the board as we head over the course of the next week, outside of that small chance for maybe a few flurries this morning here in Lincoln. So again, dry weather and temperatures climbing as we head over the course of the next 7 days. High temperatures over the next 10 days. Again, cities across the state, again, you can see continues to be very cold today. Tomorrow, a little better Friday, milder into the weekend, and then through much of next week, it's 40s, 50s, and even some low 60s possible as we head through the week next week. So again, much warmer, above average temperatures head our way through the week next week. Precip chances, again, are pretty slim on the whole over the course of the next 10 days or so. There's that outside chance today, and then we'll keep an eye on maybe midweek next week. Long-range models might have a little something skirting through midweek next week. So again, we'll keep an eye on that, but really nothing to worry about in terms of any big snows heading our way over the next week to 10 days. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook. Again, we just saw this with the 10-day forecast, but continues to favor above-average temperatures across much of the Midwest and across much of the western two-thirds of the country. Again, we'll take that. We're considering where we've been over the last week. It also does favor wetter than normal conditions across much of the middle parts of the country as well. So this is February 26th through March 4th. So again, maybe a little bit beyond that day 10 that we saw. Again, does look like maybe some wetter than normal conditions head our way, but it could come again into the form of rain. Again, with some of those warmer than average temperatures, just depends on the time of day that we see that moisture fall. So again, still dealing though with the dangerous cold as we head through the day today, especially tonight. It is going to be brutally cold tonight. Again, it's going to be another 3-dog night. Again, keep the extra blankets on the bed. But again, there is some hope. There is some warmth at the end of the tunnel if we look ahead to the weekend and especially into the week next week. So again, hope everyone stays warm. Again, if you don't have to be outside, I would encourage everyone just to hang out inside. Again, if you do have to be outside, make sure you're dressing appropriately, wearing multiple layers, keeping as much skin covered as you can. Frostbite, hypothermia can set in just minutes with as cold as it's going to be today, especially into early tomorrow morning as well. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching. As always, keep it tuned to 1011 both on air and online for all of your latest forecast details as well as your latest news and sports coverage as well. Hope everyone has a nice Wednesday, and again, hope everyone stays warm.